Good morning. Welcome to yet another edition in Lusaka. We are thankful that you found time to. Let me make mention to you that we are on our Facebook page, and that's 5FM Radio Zambia. And other than that, we have our partner radio stations that are carrying this program live on their respective platforms. We have Tuta FM in Mansa, and of course, covering the rest of the Wapula province. We also are live on Muchinga Radio in Muchinga province, in Chinsali to be precise, on 88.1 FM. And we are also live on Spice FM in Kabwe, Central Province, on 91.1, and also live in Kapiri Mposhi on ZFM 100.3 FM. Don't forget, Platinum Radio in Ndola is also live, and that is on 99.7, covering the rest of Copper Belt. iWave FM is also live in Chingola, and they are on 90.1 FM. Now, let me make an announcement that we have a new radio station partner who are going to be carrying this program consistently. I will come back to that, but let me also make mention now that we are also live on Millennium Radio here in Lusaka, and of course they cover quite a wider coverage along the line of rail into the Copper Belt. Thank you very much, Millennium, for that. On the Copper Belt, we have Ichengelo Radio, or Radio Ichengelo, if you like, in Kitwe. They are also carrying this program live. Now, let me make mention now, there's the announcement we have that Katete FM Radio has finally joined us, and they will definitely be carrying this program live on their platform, both on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now, Katete FM covers Katete, Chadiza, Sinda, Lusangazi, Petauke, Kasenengwa, Mambwe, and Chipangali. All right. So those are the areas. I might as well just say the entire Eastern Province. Thank you very much. And they are on 100 point. They are actually on 103.3 FM. That's Katete Radio on 103.3 FM. I'm your host, Zachariah Banda. My guest today is Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya. He is the Member of Parliament for Lunte. And let me suffice to say that we have slightly started the program late. This was due to circumstances beyond our guest's control. However, we are grateful that he's here, and it's good to see you, Honorable, and welcome to the Burning Issue.
Thank you so much, Zaki. I'm grateful that you could host me this morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to our listeners.
Great. We would like to get right straight into it. First of all, I'm aware that we are still in a mourning period. Obviously, the demise of the 60th president. This is a president who served this country. This is the president to which you served as a cabinet minister. But what I would like us to fast forward this issue is to get to a discussion now, which is happening now around the funeral. And the issue now is that the government has offered the former first family to settle the matter out of court. I would like your view on this. Is this something that you feel is progressive as a politician, obviously as a sympathizer, and of course as a mourning member of this country and Patriotic Front?
You put it very correctly, Zaki, that I am one of the mourning Zambians because I loved Edgar Lungu. I supported Edgar Lungu, and I really was loyal to him. I would like to continue loving him in death. I would like to continue being loyal to him in death. And so I'm inclined to listen to the family because I believe that the family was the closest to him. So he must have spoken more to the family. He must have intimated to the family much more than any one of us. So because this is a man I loved, this is a man I respected, this is a man to whom I was very loyal, I'm inclined to listen to the family. But coming to your question, President Edgar Lungu was supposed to come back to Zambia to be summoned by the Drug Enforcement Commission. When he was sick in hospital, outside of this country, Dek had written a letter to his lawyer to present him for interrogations. So this is a man who should have come to Zambia straight into interrogations. But unfortunately, he's not coming to Zambia. He's not coming to Zambia as a human, a living human being. Okay, that means he's not coming to Dek. But now, the government of this Dek, which wanted to interrogate him, want to honor his body, his dead body. They want to offer their respect to the dead body of Edgar Lungu. And it's a matter for me which I can't go into because it's inappropriate. I would have hoped that the government should have honored President Lungu when he was alive, and their quest to honor him now should have been commensurate to the level of honor they conferred on him when he was living. Now, the settlement out of court. Again, I'm outside of the family. I'm just a supporter.
Right.
Okay. I am just a lawyerist. I'm just a friend to President Edgar Lungu. So the only thing I can say to government is that I'm surprised that government wants to settle the matter out of court, and yet government is the one which went to court. They are the ones who went to court. Zach, let me give you this example. If you and I differ on something, then you take me to court. Okay, I'm not even aware that you are going to court. You take me to court. I come to learn from ZNBC that Zaki has taken you to court over this issue. And then after you take me to court, you yourself, you come round and start saying, I'm writing to him so that we can settle this matter outside court. What type of thinking is that? Because you are the one who took me to court. So why are you writing to me that we should settle the matter outside court? Why don't you just go and withdraw the case? That is that's a straight thing to do. Go and withdraw the case, because if you don't want the court process, you should have not gone to
There
court.
could be moments of realization.
Absolutely. So don't start coming to me and start saying, boy, go and withdraw the case. It is you who went to court. Now you don't want court, so go and withdraw the case, and the issue ends there. That is my view on this matter. I don't see any other way around.
Great. Let's get into what is burning now, and what is burning is the fact that government has announced a wave of new tax proposals targeting alcohol, betting, cigarettes, sugar drinks, and investment earnings. This is as per this is as part of the effort. So as the minister mentioned, the Minister of Finance, as part of the efforts to raise domestic revenue for the for its 33.6 billion supplementary budget for 2025, and this was according to the Minister of Finance and National Planning, Dr. Stumbeko Msokotwane, who presented the proposals to Parliament on last week's alongside supplementary estimates number 1 of 2025. Now, let me also state here that among the standout proposals is the plan to increase excise duty on spirits and wines from 60 to 80%, and to revoke the current 40% excise duty suspension on clear alcohol, replacing it with a 50% excise duty. In addition, excise duty on cigarettes will actually rise from 452 kwacha to about 750 kwacha per 1,000 sticks. All right. Now, this has come at a time when there's a lot of debate. First of all, it has come at a time when we are coming off a failed Bill 7, and then we have this controversial issue coming up. And what is very controversial is the increase in percentage on the investments on government bonds, for example, from 15% to 20%. How would you, how do you respond to this?
Zaki, we are living in a very difficult time as a country. A very, very, very difficult time. And I'll tell you this in no uncertain terms. When the president held a meeting with the civil society organizations before he decided to defer Bill 10, which was, of course, in the National Assembly of Zambia, and that's another irregularity where the president advises the deferment of business in the National Assembly of Zambia, because he is not the head of the National Assembly. He is the head of the executive. The bill had already passed the executive. It was in the National Assembly. So he needed not to be the one to interfere with work at the National Assembly of Zambia.
We'll come back to Bill 7.
No. I am building up a response.
Right.
It's very important.
Okay.
Where I'm driving this point is not to the deferment.
Okay.
I'm driving to this point to the issues that the president raised in that meeting where which he had with civil society organization. Right. He began to explain how all the past presidents, all the past parties that have led this country have amended the constitution. Then when it came to him, what did he say? He says, because this is, you hate this animal pariah. Okay? Because those civil society organizations who were there, they hate, or the Zambian people hate him. And the Zambian people think this is an animal pariah. You understand? This is why he could sense the hate. You know, you say, I can feel the hatred, how much you Zambians hate him. He forgot that a few years ago he was given 1 million votes more than his immediate competitor. Now, receiving 1 million votes is not hatred. It is love. But why would you want the people to love these increases of taxes on poor people? Why would you think that the people will be happy with increasing the price of a cigarette? Mwalundo mshanga. Do you know what that means? That means that you are not just affecting Bariaba Pepe Mishanga. No, you are affecting by Mishanga seller. And these Mishanga sellers are the poorest of the poor. So what will happen is those people who want to buy umshanga, balaya twakaponda, bambio kupepa kaponda, they will still smoke. But you have caused job losses for the poor of the poorest. This is what you have done. Abamulela ndati no tulunde ama taxes yabwalwa tulunde ko bwalwa mutengo pako bati bwalwa bukosyo mutengo lo ifatule poka ama taxes yayengi ayakulipira aba mafumo bali abakwata amafumo. In fact, do you know that Bill 7 was telling you that they were going to bring 92 more members of parliament? 92. Forget about the 55. It was 92 members of parliament to come and increase this cost of running people who already have stomachs. To come more. Now, where was the money going to come from? This is what the government is saying. But they now will tax them more. Tulesunga batufuma ababa utuma drink mojo ni drink mojo shani ndo fako pa radio station pamwe ati bafantamo na shani turetonse tuli oto bashitisha tulia kulunde mitengo, so that those people who sell should have no market, and when they have no market they should suffer more. Ngawa leshitisha utuma bottle tuli 4, now you'll be selling only 1 or 2 in a day. If for you to pay rent you had to sell half of a month, you have now to sell the whole month for you to be able to pay rent. Therefore ngabana babaka shani kuskulu ngefya kulya mukashita shani mukaisunga shani pamo ngabantu abalanda ba muno chalo, you have a big problem. All these taxes are aiming at the poor people. There's no tax here which is aiming at a rich man. the mining corporations. No tax here is aiming at rich people. Mwaya kubalanda badabeni abalanda abakumpela bamishanga sela abashitishobwalwa abashobora pakomesa market pale ebo mwaya konomba muyeuma mumishe mwasha kumaini ukuyendalama mwala bati ba maini badabeni ebo mpela na malaiti nisha mishanga sela kumayanda kuli blackout nishaba baweoda kuba ku workshop kuli blackout ababo mpela fyonse. You can launch power generation and even tell the nation yonse ayama light tukapela ababa winakadi abalanda nakadia. So I'll tell you, with all this, people cannot be happy with a government. And when people are not happy with these increases of taxes, they don't hate the president. It is inappropriate for the president to think they hate him. What the people hate is if you tapali umuntu wingapata president pantu neyakaende tapali umuntu wingapata but moneni imwe mwali abantu if matabe fyakwata malwele abantu they should be happy with that. Mwalistisha matabaya shakweta malwele ayali muchalo mwalistisha kufyalo fimbi elo mwale sala muchalo. People should be happy with that. Elo didano mama yaranda no katushtia mataba mwale tef matabe fyakwata malwele aflatoxins. And people should be happy with that? No, people are not happy with that. Mwalishama light kufyalo fimbi baishire mukumitasha ichalo fetsa pane baba chaishire mukutasha omo tuatotela kunona tusanga load shedding kwena kuno abantu barechula but yoko tuafuma load shedding takuwa abapantu ama light ayo mwafuro kupera abantu benu mwashitisha kuchalo chezo. You want people to be happy with that? No, people cannot be happy with that. Mwalibula maini y'abantu abena Zambia mopani mwapela kuba bantu abashiri bamuno chalo kuba pela mahala ababula kulipira kona nguni wanungwe badeota botabali pira kona ngu wanungwe mwaisa abapela femaina taicha abena Zambia temulandu bena na ifrifionse fya chitra ifofine bena tatu abapele tupela mwebalungwana mweba fuma ku Abu Dhabi pantu mwankanda yali inkanda shenu shari kashika abenkanda shabo shari fita so tuleba poka mine 51% shares mwapela ukwa bulo kulipila konangu chimo nangu ni wanungwe taba tulipilako fwe bali abene ba mine area. So we should be happy with that. Mwaya bule mpia kunapsa mwapokenda lama kunapsa mwaya pela ka company katushinga nika company shako atinomba iwe ka company Kafwaya contractor atupangiri omusebo impia shaba napsa ni mwebo bazaki mwe batipira shirendara ni nebo fweba bonfi ni fwe tulipira ndalama shiri mpia sheso shira ubuteko bubulipo bwa UPND bwaya senda shirendalama lilya bwasenda bwapela ka company ako katushinga kafuma kuisa bwakapela ako ka company nomba ekambo kulipira contractor pakuti contractor uli apangi omusebo lili apanga omusebo kalakene ka company kamba nokupuka na ama toll gate fees ama toll gate aya ama gate otwakulile ni fwe umusebo otwakula ni fwe bena Zambia kalesenda nomba lili kalesenda efyo ba Minister of Finance ndalama sharp mulenje baba zakim 33 billion balefwa. In fact, 33 billion. 11 billion in savings because that's just some figure, some fictitious figure. The minister can't even provide a schedule to back up that figure. It's just a fictitious figure. Now, better than that, indalama turefwa ilapwe ngata shafu mina fya kuma target ngata mwa ilepo kama dividend kumopani ati mwa ilepo mwa senda dividend kumopani nomba ama dividend ya kumopani ya kula ya kulibada mwa pera 51% shares eba kula senda ama dividends. So you are in big problems. You can't mistreat people like this and you think people can be happy. People can't be happy. Tetimule lunde mitengo shafintu umusango you. Look at the fuel, my brother. Fuel ya dishani munocharo yale nina fechera mwenshi ile nina fechera mwenshi ya bamona ma elections yamba ya isa mpepi no mbelo bambo kulabwesha imushe inkondo kunani kane kurasha kuna Ukraine yali inkondo nomba nashifuli lako kulina ya ku Middle East. So kuti mwasanje bati yo fiale nina pantu kwali inkondo. Is that what you can tell me? You can't. Because inkondo eko ichiri ku Russia na ku Ukraine. Elo kwadi shirana shimbi inkondo. Fierce battles in the Middle East. Elo ku Middle East yokukula fumasana amafuta.
Isn't the reduction in fuel prices corresponding with the appreciation of the kwacha? I'm led to believe that
what is causing the appreciation of the kwacha? That is the issue. What is causing the appreciation? Can the kwacha appreciate today and fuel will be reduced to today? Is that how you make transactions? Ile kwacha yachita appreciate.
But you tell us what could be the reason why the kwacha is appreciated.
You should ask UPND
because
by UPND
the Minister of Finance said it's not even artificial. There are no interventions in it.
By UPND Babu fee from the very beginning. Would take of Wabu fee, my brother. So what they tell you, you must be very careful and very cautious. You need to read between the lines and make your own, your own calculations and be able to accept what they are telling you. I haven't taken time to do that. But the only thing I'm telling you is that if the dollar reduces or the value of the dollar reduces today compared to the kwacha, it cannot affect a transaction which is already in the pipeline. It can't. Okay, there's various models of costing, various models of pricing, and no pricing can cause that. Unless you are talking about replacement pricing. But replacement pricing, will you make a loss on what you have already transacted for the sake of replacement? Do you just want to replace your stock, or you want to make a profit on the stock you are holding before you can begin to bring in cheaper stock, which then is going to reflect the current money market pricing? You are in big problems. So I'm telling you now that abena Zambia balishi bati nibuka bwalala bwale bomba abena Zambia balishi bokutila kubi pomutima kwa buteko ekwale bomba pantu tete mule nini kafia mafuta mule nini kafia mafuta mule nini kafia mafuta apa bulana nguchimo mulebe peshe nkondo.
In a bid to raise the supplementary budget, yes, you did make mention of the few that will be affected, and you categorize them as the poor people, msanga sellers and so on. But let's talk about the fact that I feel the rich people have also been affected. There's an increment on investment on government bonds from 15 to 20%. And we believe that most people that are rich in this country are holding bonds.
This is the poor who are being affected there, my friend. Abakalashita fila nyaba ndalama. Ima mukayishita kuisa government bond. Bazaki imwena ine. Kuti mtu washita government bond. Okay, are you able to buy a government bond? No, you can't. It's the same people bakabwala bakalashita ama government bond. Konfie mpia shakwiva. Elo nomba babula. Price ya bondi nika. You pay them more. When you pay back, you pay them more. Bondi, its pricing is higher. Bond prices means the reward they will get for investing in government. Investment yabo bale bikira kwa emitengo. Elo nomba pakwisa mukulipila ilia tukalabo mfya balanda impiashira mulepoka kubalanda ba mishanga sela impiashira mulepoka kubalanda bali. Let me tell you, even these people abantu obwalo abakale kanomba ukunu obwalo wabuli abantu apantu wambo kukosa emitengo. What they will do is bakala no kachasu because nibacha kolwa. What you need is to rehabilitate people. You have to rehabilitate them. But yani bacha kolwana kale so nga mwaisa se shapo bubwalo abantu apantu mwabikira ko mtengo bakaya mkuno akachaso. What solution have you made as a government? Takuri, but palika drink kalaka Coca-Cola kalaka nono kalya nga walipirira one kwacha omusonko nomba wakulipira 2 kwacha ilya 2 kwacha ilya kaya mukulipira nkongole shirabale kongola pamutengo ukulu. So it is them who are going to benefit from those bond prices. Benefit from the bond prices. Let me tell you, you want a bomba fena ine bomba ukaishita kuisa bond. You can't. You have no money. I have no money. Aba kwetenda mani banani bakabwala ala. Eba kwetenda lama. Bakabwala ala feveka eba kwetenda because businesses are struggling. The genuine businesses don't have power. They don't have electricity. They can't produce. Parmalat told you they are leaving production in this country because the environment is so bad. Kano bakabola. Bali abasangwa muma illicit financial flows. I don't know if you have seen. Ama 80 billion yarabeba. Nga wa mwali ama $2.8 billion yarabeba. If you have seen those 60 billion kwacha shirabeba iba shiriendalama eba kashitama bonds ya. Nga bashita ero nomba pakuba bwesesha abalanda nomba bakala nyokoloma pakubwesha shirienkongole. This is where the issue lies. Na mwikalo okwati abalanda katulunde ero kuba kwetendalama na bena tubalundire reward. This is what is happening. So you are in big problem if you think that there's anything for the poor. But the CSOs speak for the poor, because eba pita Mutotwe Kafwaya balanda ama balabe ni ama civil society organization eba pita so nga bale muno bwafya bwesubuli atukwete elo baisa kubute kwati no tete mubikire kona fima MPs na fimbe fima MPs fya all these we have are too many tete mulundeko pantu abale balipira aba indalama bantu bale chula ati mwali mpata mwali mpata no sir tapali abami mpata. If you you can't export power. Throughout, you are exporting power. They can't do business. They can't do welding. They can't do barbing business. They can't do saloons. They can't do all this. They can't do manufacturing. Then you are saying, no, let's beautify the trade environment. How are you going to beautify it? Takwaba. Tapali wa mipata. Ukunga yekutemwa abantu uku nga yekutemwa abantu ukulunde mitengo ukulunde misonko kako bati misonko esho shiza mukusupport aba amafumo awe mwandi you are going to be in serious problems. I'm sorry about that.
This is the Thursday edition rather of the burning issue, and my guest is Mutotwe Kafwaya. He is member of parliament for Lunte Constituency. We are live on many other platforms, and we'll be making mention. We're live on iWave FM radio, covering the entire Copper Belt. We are live, that is in Chingola also, but we are live on Ichangelo Radio Ichangelo if you like, and also that is in Kitwe, covering the rest of the Copper Belt. Platinum Radio in Ndola, covering the rest of the Copper Belt as well. And don't forget, we are live on ZFM in Kapiri, covering the rest of Central Province. So is Spice FM as well, based in Kabwe, covering the rest of Central Province. We are live also on Tuta FM in Mansa, covering Wapula Province, and Mchinga Province is well covered because we are live on Mchinga Radio. Eastern Province is well covered. Katete FM, our new entrant, our new partner, is live on 103.3 FM. All right, and covering the rest of Eastern Province. Now, let's get to Bill 7. Just as well you started it, let's describe the deferment of Bill 7.
Okay, so deferment, what it means is that business, that is from the National Assembly perspective.
That's right.
Business is on the floor of the House. That's what it means. The mover of that particular motion decides that we can't transact this business now. We will transact it at a later stage because of some emerging issues. Okay, a person can do can opt to defer for any reason as long as that deferment is accepted by the parliamentary system. So the deferment of Bill 10 means, or Bill 7 means, we couldn't transact it as it was planned, because remember, Bill 7 went for publication and lasted 30 days under publication, and later went to the National Assembly of Zambia for enactment. There at the Assembly, it has passed the first reading, so it is due to come for the second reading. Okay. Now, before that, there's a select committee which was constituted to interview stakeholders in line with parliamentary practice. Okay, so the deferment means that process has been put on hold. It's been put on hold, but that deferment means that bill can come back within 6 months. That's what a deferment means. It can come back to that committee for consideration within 6 months.
Despite his own being stated in the statement by the
Exactly.
president, because then the president says, so that we can have a wider consultative process.
Now, the president saying that, or the executive, whoever, is deception.
Right.
Deception because the bill has passed the executive stages. It's not in the executive, it is past the executive stages. It is now in the National Assembly. So there's no way the executive can be the ones leading the consultations. At no point can the executive make consultations for the National Assembly. At no point. The executive cannot consult for the National Assembly. That bill is in the National Assembly of Zambia. It has left the executive. They were supposed to consult when the bill was still under development within the system of the executive. Okay, it is deferred so that the executive can consult. When the executive consults, bakatwala kuisama results of that consultation.
So what should have been the case? Withdraw?
Listen. What the president was saying is that bill is defective. It has reached the assembly defective. Now, since it has to be corrected by the executive if they ever want it, it has to be withdrawn from the parliamentary process. Because it is you see, that call for consultation is coming from the executive. Did you hear the speaker say that? No?
No.
Did you hear any member of the select committee say that? No. It is the president who said that. So the call for consultation is made by the president. The president has realized that there were no consultations. So why should the bill, which is in the National Assembly, be deferred? He should have just told his minister, go and withdraw it. We go and consult, and then we recraft a better bill. After we have recrafted a better bill, we take it again for publication, and then a better bill can go to the National Assembly.
I thought that's what it means.
No. Deferment means that same bill will come to the floor of the House as is.
At a later stage.
At a later, within 6 months. And it is within 6 months. That's what it means. So it a bill as far as the National Assembly process is concerned. That is why.
Yeah. But what about now that following the deferment, there was a court judgment to it?
You see, UPND does not respect in some cases. They don't respect court judgments in some cases. And if you want to understand what I'm telling you, you go to Kabushi and Kwacha. Those illegal by-elections. Go and read the court directives and consider what UPND did. Go to a by-election in you will find that UPND does not respect court judgments in some cases. This is why, for me, I don't mind UPND government not respecting, because that is who they are, and the Zambian people have seen that. I went to the assembly and asked the assembly, are we going to be complicity to illegal to promoting illegal transactions? And you know what the speaker told me? My matter did not qualify. A matter which hinges on the violation of the Constitution as declared by the Constitutional Court. The speaker told me, no, it doesn't qualify. That issue doesn't qualify. I sat down. The thing is this, that bill is a dead bill. And I listened to people who know. I listened to State Council John Sangwa the other day. He described it as a dead bill. That bill is dead. Dead. So what government needs to do is to withdraw that bill, throw it away. Throw it away. After throwing it away, if they indeed they are so hell-bent on amending the constitution, they should start a new process, which process will be regarded as legitimate by, by those established constitutional provisions which are in that judgment.
So what does the judgment do to the bill in deferment?
The judgment has killed the bill, but you see the arrogance of UPND, the inability, to adhere to constitutional requirements, their inability. Listen, UPND is still keeping an auditor general who is over age, who try to be there even after
even in acting capacity he doesn't still qualify.
According to Cap 2 interpretation, you cannot act in a position for which you don't qualify. It's clear. You can't act in a position in which you don't qualify. UPND has gone ahead with the construction of the Lusaka-Ndola dual carriageway without subjecting, that transaction to the 2/3 majority vote of the National Assembly of Zambia. UPND went further to gift away Mopani, Zambian people's shares, without subjecting that to the 2/3 majority vote of the National Assembly of Zambia. This is how much, listen, UPND were able to procure illegal audits. And those procurements happened in the Ministry of Finance, for God's sake. You look, it can happen anywhere, but not Ministry of Finance. Not Ministry of Finance. Illegally, they procure audit services. Up to today, those audit reports have not been seen by anyone, any member of the public. They have never come to the National Assembly. Up to today, as people are even being told, for us to pay you. You procure somebody illegally, they do the job, they bring the results to you, you start saying, report. What type of people are? Listen, you are in big problems. You are just in big problems. But this is UPND. And when we talk about these things, tulelanda pafivi fire chitika muchalo, because amukana kuchitefi chalo chino nga chali wama nga chali ila ko pantanshi, amukana kushitisha malaiti chalo chino nga chali wama, amukana kutushitisha matabe chalo chino nga chali waminako, amukana kutushitira fi matabe fya kwata malwele chalo chino chali waminako, amukana kula chitefi fya ba illegal, fya ba unconstitutional chino chalo nga chali waminako, because now you can't just be relying pabufi. Everything kube pobufi. You are saying the economy is improving. Nishimulea mko kongwela for 14.8 billion to fund the supplementary budget. The economy is improving.
For the sake of the listener, what is the supplementary budget?
Mwana, supplementary budget means an additional expenditure for government to spend. Money, is
it a necessity?
Pakutampa fye kwa mwaka 1st January.
Right.
Ichalo chila kwata budget. Okay? Budget ya kufolesha ababonfi, ya kukule fikulwa, ya kulipire nkongole, ya kuchita mufyonse fyubuteko buchita ila kwata budget. Budget yo ila yasminishiwa kunganda ya mafunde. Mwanfwa nefunde lyafumelyo betokutira appropriation act budget mwanfwa iya uyo mwaka. So uno mwaka okufuma pa 1 January 2025 ukufika pa 31st December 2025 eko yaba budget nombo buteko bwa UPND pakati bwaisa monati lulyo lupia lubabikire 217 billion shachepa bafuile babikirapo na shimbi 33 billion a supplementary budget to supplement to what was already provided for this year. Nombe yo supplementary budget badanda pakuti tupange ndalama ishakuingira muri ya supplementary tufutwa ya kubalanda tuye bakokola ama taxes bamishanga sela tuye bakokola bali abashisho tuma drinks to mojo to shani tuye bakokola abashitisha obwalwa tubakokole tulundeko n'abali abashitisha ama spirits n'ama wine bali abakuwa kukomesa bada nabena tubakokole mo pakwe bati naba betting tubakokole sana pakwe bati tupange ulupialo wako bati tuletyoku tukese mukufolesha ama MPs nama ministers na bali ama MPs tulefo okulunda kwa bali 92 bakese ingira muri shindala maishi tulepoka kubalana. That is what they are saying. So a supplementary budget. Now, inenderanda nati ninshi tete mulande fiati ifituwa chitapa muse fia chave fia buwele wele fituwa chitapa muse woyu tuwayabula ka kampani katushingu tuwaisa kabika pakati elo kaka karepo kenda rama kunapsa elo karepa ngomsewo elo kamba no kupoka matogeti ite tukafumishe kwa kaka kampani tuakafumyako no kwisi no abala bombe inchito kafyeshinda nama kunapsa straight pere contractor elo diano mbaba NRF bakala hapo kama ama togeti bakala lipira banapsa bati pamwabika poka kampani kakwa nani ka kampani ni nani wako atamo interest ni nani wako sapo pali akaka kampani mwafirwa no kuleto yumulando kuisa ku National Assembly pantu ngamako fyeyi 33 billion yikuti yafuma matogeti tiafuma neri ashiri hapo tamwapelelera hapo pene mwayapela na mani mpane mwalipela ukupela fiaba ichichalo nachipwa. Let me tell you, Zach, this country is finished. It is finished because look at umwacho wandibini wa mpundo fya relanda Mairon Parliament. God batola fye ku Northwestern Province ula epita fye we muntu wakaile mwatola God ubu no tontonkanya na pali ifyo yoko bati no na tubule ayama resources eyo tuwamye yakula tubombela fwebe kala chalo pakwe bati tuna sheko kupoke misonko kubantu tubuteko can't do that mwanfo bazakimwa umuntu aiba mkula omuntu aiba alonga na Patriotic yaisula track amba nokula twala ile yapitashani pa boda mukule yakwiba yala yapitashani pa boda yala yapitashani mukula yali bewike muchirundo rodumo nombalini yabeuka mukula ubuteko zi pali mukula ile yabewike ubwaba zi tawakatalia umfuapo the only letters yakuweba ati Edgar Lungu kokwini okwali kuchipatalo ko muleteni kuma investigation mwafu makarata mumfu akuli ba drug enforcement makarata mukala mwana ku police uko yakwito muntu ule losha Professor Nkadro mwalimu mwana ale losho mwana wako ifyadila bamwita ku police mwalimu mfefo professor alilile chinwe chalo tamuli chitemwiko chinwe chalo tamuli empathy chinwe chalo tamuli ukumfuira ko munobyo obulando bubuteko bwa UPND kuti bwatwala na mukamfuira court kuti bwatwala mukamfuirwa kuti bubuteko bwa UPND nde ukweba zake kuti bwavula mukamfuirwa nabana banshiwa kubatwala ku court inetete mpapeno okupapa.
This is a Thursday edition of the Burning Issue. We will soon be taking your photos, but let me quickly make mention that we are live also on Millennium Radio. And remember that we are on 90.5 FM in Lusaka. Millennium is also live on 93.5 in Kabwe and 93.9 in Kapiri, 100.1 in Ndola. All right. So we are live on Millennium Radio. Let me quickly also make mention that we are also live on Tuta FM in Mansa, covering Rapula Province. Also live on Muchinga Radio in Chinsali. We are live on ZFM in Kapiri, live in Kabwe on Spice FM, live in Ndola on Platinum Radio, and we're live in Kitwe on Radio Ichengelo, as well as iWave in Chingola. Not forgetting, we are live on Katete FM, 103.3 in Katete, covering the rest of Eastern Province. I will be taking your calls now on 0955-221515. That's the number you are calling us on. The number again is 0955-221515. Don't forget, you can leave us a comment or indeed a question on our Facebook page, 5FM Radio Zambia. We will be glad to hear from you. All right, so as we wait for that phone call just now, I have a few more messages on our Facebook page. But obviously, before I get to the Facebook page. We seem to have a caller this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Razak. Mwashuka sana.
Twashubuka mkwai, mwashubukeni.
Nchita mkwai. Ba honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya, well spoken.
Ngamu mbipili haba mkwai.
Nine mbipili. Apandi munshira ndia kubaru ya mwana waba profesa nkanduluo.
Mwaloshen.
Mkwai. Ero chinizoda situkonka because I also lost my daughter.
Mkwai. Na mipela fe 1 minute mkwai.
1 minute chine chirempa kushaba Kafwaya bushaba ba government ararande tibare kita withdraw case batwala bana mfwirwa n'abana ku koti. Are they serious? If they are serious, the UPND chief Machifu Mukuni could they have said Jifireko Barera and Dapauntu Afwa? As if that's not enough. Banani kaneba speaker bachita allow yomuntu kwambo kulande chintu kya pamuntu Afwa ya MP wa kubwengwa. Where is love in this country? Ela inechimpa puishe. Ushokwena teba lengero ko bachola tutuwe suspicious. Twakwata ama Freemasons muchalo era abantu bambo okuladidire chitumbi. Chanchi chitumbi balefwaya ababantu. And as I conclude, me, I agree with the family. Don't agree to settle this outside court. Lekeni balungu balale ku South Africa ubuteko bushakwata love nga bwafumapo ero tukabaleta. It has happened before. The president of Senegal assassinated, his body was only brought back after 45 years. Kwame Nkrumah's body was only brought back to the country after 20 years. She said, we shall be vice president after 3 years. Why should we worry? Even as the president in this country was embalmed for 50 years. So they should just be proper embalming. Balungu's remains will come one day to Zambia where it belongs.
Thank you, man. Tash. All right, let me take another one. Good morning. Nauka Mwakabanji. Ati bakalufyanya. Okay. Mutotwe Kafwaya. Ba MP. Ba MP. Mutotwe Kafwaya, Patriotic Front Member of Parliament for Lunte.
Okay. Yeah, so tawaziwa man. So Kafwaya. Kijabani mwenzo kamba po bakutati mwa kilako. So that badisebera ntukuti basati mwamola basati mwamola bi. So mbera bino wanko wanga baje. Bana mabwera kunyumba biwangu bazitungira baje. Mbera bino aina mtoto Kafwaya ini. Iba MP of Lunte. Mundera mushe baje bana mwamola baje. Abdala kulinda bamanga tlauzi mumnesiba mwamendo wazimbe baje mandera bino Mutotwe Kafwaya mutende kuona mutenda makanda mutimotoka mutibasi
Your line is getting bad, Bakalufyanya. Unfortunately, we can't seem to be getting the rest of it, but we hear your comment. We thank you for. Yes, please. Can you conclude? Yeah, your line is still bad. Try and call us back. But I think we've heard your comment. We are grateful for that. Let me quickly take some more. Good morning to you listening in right now. And the number that you're calling us on is 0955-221515. And take note, our guest is Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya. He is the Patriotic Front Lunte Member of Parliament. Let's take this one, then I can give you an opportunity to respond. Good morning. Tauka Mwakabanji, ndimwe wandani mutumira kuti.
Garden Sepiso.
Sepiso Garden House.
Bosi mwauka.
Nauka sikoma kwambiri.
Yeo. Bosi mkamba bwino maningi. Bachaina ona sani makamba kusande every time. Mafrika nisigurizana. As long as it's divided, tichepa kupana upanga chezi na Mafrika. Mwavana vista binti. That's always are keeping makamba binti rauri. Kandiari moyo. Bene mwenda gadasi vanafa. As long as it's Mafrika nisigurizana. Ulidari ipo unanikani wanukosa direct unanikani but simugurizana kuti gurizana Mafrika kuti secret fani tingati mozi as long as fakati chimozi kwa mafamili kwa nkara olemera uzafuna ndio veke mfamili kuti ndio na ndrama futiro kwa mwarira kuzakuza kuba kumza kapereka so as long as kuma mukagwirizana mwese mpotiko party mushechunga chimozi tizo veno vachoipendi zavotera kuti vabwire pampando kuti vashebwanji tinkare bwino tonse ti environment ya bwino but as long as vaipimwa chena vakora masina chena vazungu so as long as ndaime futi vakushani fundini vazungu pobwera pampando tizambopika chimozi na chimozi zambovutika tizambokamba chimozi na chimozi ngati magovernment ya bwanji as long as mutachefanda kushani vista bintero maposition mkurizane umusachite divide adana pamarefuti ya Edgar Lungu singa pasa vezibeshike chekusauth family ko vibena sesi muntu mwenzo mchuchunganya chichunganya adana pa mukonderera pa bena mwarira loko nese metima itana kana monza manankani bakuru mama nankani benzeri kutenzo mwana kutija mtu kwenzo muvutisa benzeri kuti ade bakamberere pena mwarira muntu let's be fair vintu vino tekara ko fair loko nule isema colors whatever tete ka support kuti Africa de paso ndeti bweza Africa kuti de paso ni support de paso tu kwa ne progress in intelligence Africa don't be pambuyo afuno fuki back bintronde ndisema black mana pagata sindani ndisema black kama nchi tatu ma black till bwani sinizi lazima sisi gurizana kitepa kusepare konda drama.
Thank you, Sepiso. Thank you, Sepiso. Your time is up. Thank you very much. Remember, we are also live on our partner online platform, that is Smart Egos. So look out for Smart Egos and you can follow our conversation as well. Let me give you an opportunity to react, Honorable Minister.
Thank you so
or
much.
rather, Honorable MP.
I used to be one.
Yes, indeed.
I was one. For
Sure.
So, Zaki, thank you so much. I would like to thank Mayoba Mumbipiri, as I do Kafwaya and Sepiso for coming through. Now, I don't think I should go back to speaking to what Honorable Mumbipiri has said, because she's clear about her thoughts, as I am about my thoughts concerning the court case, concerning the whole Edgar Lungu funeral issue. I am clear. My position is to support the family, whatever course of action they decide to take, because I respected President Edgar Lungu and I loved him, and I still respect him in death and I love him in death. So what the family say regarding what he would have wished is exactly what I'll support. Kafwaya says bamene bakumwa moba basitundila banko bake bamaenda kunyumba basitundila. Am I supporting those? I'm sorry, Kafwaya. You need to make sure your uncle is managed by your family so that he stops drinking carelessly. He must stop kuzitundila because you, a responsible family member, you are there. But batamba chabe bakumwa berekete. It means you have failed as a family. You have failed as a family. My position is...
He feels, and I think I read him well, he feels that if you tax alcohol more, then you will have probably people stopping to drink. I think that's the notion he has.
Because that one is an alcoholic. He is going to transition to kachasu, which is not being taxed. Safe. Safe, which for which you can't even determine the alcohol content. So you are even going, you're likely going to lose your uncle. Your uncle will be taking excessive alcoholic content because of drinking and measuring alcohol. So for me, I would rather your uncle is managed. You, as a family, you manage your uncle, and don't come to you don't have to affect the poor people who are selling water, because some people just take 2 bottles and they go home. Okay. Now, for me, I don't drink beer. I have to tell you, I don't even smoke cigarettes. Okay. Firstly, I'm actually, well, that's my lifestyle. I don't drink beer. I don't smoke cigarettes. And the ideal position is that most people should be like that. But there are people who drink, there are people who smoke, and these poor people we are talking about, abantu bashakwata enchitowa bengi, abantu bakwata matontonkanywa yakosa sana over the way the UPND government is mismanaging the country. The UPND government can't provide job opportunities. They can't provide, business opportunities. The only people they are providing these opportunities for are foreigners and rich people, because they are able to steal through illicit financial flows. That's why illicit financial flows, they have gone up. They are able to steal through even donated medicine. That's why they stole that medicine which the American people donated. They are able to steal through the Ministry of Health. This is why the 1 containers of medicine which was bought with taxpayers' money were hidden, not by you and me, by the government. The government players went and hid medicine meant for the sick population. So those they are okay, and using that stolen money they are able to buy bonds. Bonds are average increase from 15% to 20%. Bonds we have to pay them high. This is the problem I'm talking about. So you have a situation, my brother, where the small things are the ones government is paying attention to. Umulanda ngapango mulandu. You see how the UPND police will swing it. You see how UPND police will swing it. CDF police vehicles, CDF police will be everywhere. Opposition ingarefo kwataka meeting mumandevu mu ukamona fika mpiongo na fi CDF police efo fika yakuli muku ya muku pasa, but abasungu baleyi bafi abasungu na babawi na bamuzambi baleyi bafi ba Financial Intelligence Center nga bafumya report, it's billion, more than 50 billion. Tabafumya po ile less than 50 billion. Ukuiba, it's more than 50 billion. But look at the amount that Dr. Mutotwe is asking. 33. In fact, it is 26 billion because you mufuremo afumya 7 billion yabufi. That savings from Chad. So he's asking for 26 billion. Number pamukumo mwaliva 60 billion. Why don't you stop ukuiba kulia so that this is little money? It is a complete chicken change what you are asking for. If you just plug one, you see 1 rupo. How much was it? Lithium irabaire declare ngo muchanga abantu nibakabwalala bayiba lithium. Lithium eyo babonfya kuri ama battery ama electric cars. Lithium is used for high technology. You understand? Baibo kuya mukuipisha ati muchanga. Ndibana nibenga chita import umuchanga okufuna kuzambi. Umuchanga ndibana nibenga chita import umuchanga okufuna kuzambi. That's how it was declared at the border. Sirika. You understand? Uliomulandu walitalala na lithium yoka twishoko yava fino tulelanda ba ubuteko nishite tubulandira ati lithium ile bayibire iri apa uwayibire ni utu ali mwikati uwayibire ni utu ali mtu alakoti tu ali mukaka nishi mwindishite tubuchite ubuteko palitalala na tondolo patalala nga filia mkula ila patalala nga fine patalala kuli sujirite but nomba mwise muchite tax nomba ba mishanga sela ewo mukonke ati we nomba tuleuma no usha walwa elo nomba bakalufyanya bese mkunje bati banko babo baraisunda wila. You sit as a family, manage your uncle. He's an alcoholic. You need to take him to rehab. He needs to be rehabilitated. Ngamwa mchitari rehabilitate uncle wenu elo akapusuka pantu ububwalo nangu balunde ba UPND uyuno mbata kareshto ububwalo obwano aleya nomba kuli kachasu. You are going to lose your uncle.
Let me take some more. Did you have? Yeah, you need to respond to. Yeah, basically it was right.
The Sepiso is just talking about unity. Now, unity is important. and I have to agree with Sepiso, unity is important. It is important for leaders. It is also important for the people. So that when you unite, towards the cause of developing your country, you develop it. When you unite against corruption, against maladministration, you remove a government which is engaged in corruption, which is engaged in maladministration. Kuti mwarabu sunga abantu more than 400 holding position for more than 2 years. Holding position yabantu bekalafye kumayanda mwali beba. These are big people. I'm a permanent secretaries, I'm a directors, I'm a shan mwali beba timu akikale nife kumayanda for over 2 years bafora fiendalama. Abale bafora shani bana ni mishanga sela. Let me tell you, ababa shot my drink already baladipila tax. Okay? 1 kwacha per 1 liter. Nomba minister balanda timukalalipila 2 kwacha nomba. We are going to add 100%. So ngabale lipira shida esho mule foresha bali abantu abayikala fe kunganda for over 2 years, for God's sake. That is maladministration. Now a government which does not think for the poor should be booted out of power. So that unity among leaders, that unity among the people is required. I agree with this man. Otherwise, we will be talking about these same things over and over. And I'm sorry for that.
Let me take another set of calls on 0955-221515. Our guest is Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya. He is Lunte Member of Parliament. We are live on Millennium Radio here in Lusaka. They are on 90.5. And remember that they go all the way to Kabwe. They go all the way to Kapiri, Ndola as well. And don't forget that we are also live on Katete FM, covering the entire Eastern Province. Muchinga Radio in Chinsali is live, and Spice FM in Kabwe, covering Central Province. Tuta FM in Mansa, covering Luapula Province. ZFM in Kapiri. Highwave FM in Chingola. Platinum Radio in Ndola. Radio Ichengelo in Kitwe. And here in Lusaka, 5 FM Radio. Now, let me take another set of calls. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Morning. Thank you for calling. Your name and where are you calling us from?
This is calling you from Ndora. I'm Shirikan Sang to be specific.
Mushiri.
Mushiri Mukai.
Please go ahead. You've got a minute, Mishek.
Thank you. Bamtoto Kafa Murishani.
Mkwai tifebunana tote.
If you mulela ndaona lebo, fitun turoro fishing 100%. And fwebena Zambia na tuishiva. Apape ne bafumile nkutsula solar plant. Kanshi ni ba former head of state ba lungwa bashire. Nomba kairi abantu bali berera obufi. Kufa okulanga kuli fubwe na Zambia kutira bale bomba. Kanshi nishi ni pabula. Ifida babemba balanda okutira pabula. Olo mutsungo balanda okutira work done is equal to 0. Bale bomba ifishire moneka. Inifyo na mona pofe ba UPND ba bomba. Ma toilet kukitwe amulebu kishara bapanga awo yena bali olo aya iswire resident yena bali bomba yo ningali watashako olo kwisa pa peri ashiria kwikatana ba mtoto Kafwaya inecho ningachita encourage mwikatana nga opposition. Otherwise background twebena Zambia tulelolela andina twikatana background and tuchiri tule campaign ya twikere because na tuishwa ubuteko na ubutubira na panchi patarara na bulete fintu na mumona na kutampa no kwisa at mason free mason oro ifwe icharo chesu ni Christian nation efida nomba balet burule batebero kutira pali abantu abashire fwaya Zambia kuba declared as national national shani mucharo chesu bamulandu kanshinshi bana bapanga kuleta freemason mamona so fwebena Zambia tabarefano barefa tuli Christians and abali bonsa barefa kuleta ifinti fishiri Christian inshizeni teti tumfane nabo so batabarefano barefa
thank you very much for coming. Let me take some more on 0955221515 and let's speak this one. Good morning. Tauka mwaka bwanje.
Mkamba na Bachironda mu Lusaka.
Yes, Bachironda.
Ewa Mutotwe Kafwaya washibuka shani wona
Bakalamba nabo kanatotela.
Wamona inazo ningalanda profi mukwipifya. Me
your line is bad, Rachonda. Can you?
Zaki.
Much better, please.
We know we are that line is bad. On the line yao kwa chipera wa mvipili shishire. So therefore kulanda that we have to tell my number different.
You've got a minute. Can you say what you want to say, sir?
No, listen. I'm using my talk time. I'm a radio caller.
Right, let me take another one on 955. And when you call, please, you've got a minute. Go straight to your question. We will appreciate that. Good morning.
Good morning, Zach. How are you?
Not too bad. Thank you for calling. Your name and where are you calling us from?
Mr. Nguni Douglas, Chempara Chingola.
From Chingola. Thank you.
Ukulanda kusuma lesampale sana. Ili kusungute nangu kumtasha kwa watu. Ushe kaba shani pakuikatana mwakatana PF. Ukuikatana mwakatana lesari mpala. Lesampala ama ampele amano aengi. Kuikatana mwakatana tuwariwa kunu maeno. Turamitungurira. Kuno kuchingola we are very intact. PF don't to the intact. But President Ibarista play cowboy. He's pretending that he is not harsh on Zambia. He's very high. He's always pretending to be good. He's always pretending to say he's fighting corruption when, like you have mentioned, a lot of things have gone out of the country. Don't worry, Mutotwe Kafwaya. Viva PF, viva, viva PF, viva.
Thank you, Banguni. Thank you. Thank you, Banguni. Thank you very much for calling. Let me take another one. Good morning.
Morning. How are you, sir?
Not too bad. Thank you for calling. Your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Gideon calling you from Mutotwe.
Gideon, we are grateful that you called. Please go ahead.
Yes. System concern.
Right.
Nawanda muchivemba mwisi.
Demkwe.
Ndimusepela bati twavotereva UPND so nisepela konsengepo mwa issue.
Okay.
But I was disappointed, bad. If I expect to go take over UPND, very far from the truth. So ndeno mbakuli watonse wahuka ikataneni opoti kwete ni mwoveni. Tukuba tatukwete lido nga tungulule chalo na kwata. Kuba politician lesali bikamu amano kuba politician lesali kupela amano ya kuteka abantu. Noti imiteke tule mune ipusene kwao. So twalomba kuli mubahuka. Uli mukai convention uli wonso ukapita. Kumusapota ikataneni na papata sana. Kwa misetea tule milolela tulipa ground tule milolela. No matter what, tufeto akunyapo UPND. Chapa kwa ile swala federal government ni so twapapata wa Mutotwe Kafwaya honorable
Mkwai
mwawombeli Mkwai
na total
bwe bantu tukwato omwenso tulina imo bwe bantu pa ground
Tatasha Gideon.
UPND problem obakwata taba analyze ground opposition for bwe bantu noti mumo wakonka opposition for bwe bantu wa decide ukubika kwentungulushi nokufunyapo MP tremfolta tremfo ni bwe bantu noti kupatikisha abantu kwa twakana muombe wino family twatotera.
Would you like Sofa, but also in line with what Banguni was talking about, complaining that are rough in terms of commodities and so on. How would you describe the reduction in? Again, I'll come back to it. Reduction in fuel. Yes, you allege that it's because we are heading towards election and this government is bringing down the cost of fuel. But how would you describe the reduction in the cost of mealie meal, which looks like it's steadily reducing?
How much is it?
I think
okay, I would describe it in this way. Both of those.
I'm beginning to think there are economic fundamentals that are being responded to by some of these
both
commodities.
Of those issues, Zaki, have a history.
Right.
Okay, the history includes the UPND promises okay, where the mealie meal you are talking about, 25 kg, before UPND came into power, that bag was being sold for 120, 125, 155, thereabout. And then UPND promised that they were going to reduce that to 100 kwacha. Okay, 100 kwacha. Was that, yeah, was that a promise? I don't want to mix myself up. Then when you come to the fuel, that fuel you are talking about, a liter of petrol was sold at 17 kwacha, and then diesel was at 30 kwacha. And according to the promise, the PF were stealing 3 kwacha. So both of those figures were going to reduce by 3 kwacha. Immediately UPND came into power, they took decisions to start increasing petrol until it reached over 30 kwacha per liter. Over 30. So abantu bali nyokoloma bali chula notukuchula. Show yonse imyaka high cost of fuel. Over 30 kwacha per liter. Mwamfa? Then now, because elections are next year, they remove their corruption. They start opening up the pipeline. Slowly start opening up the pipeline. You heard that story of one dealer who had monopolized, the use of the entire pipeline. How can the whole pipeline, which was built by the people, which is an asset of the people, only save one individual, one? How? And the government is there.
So is this reduction in fuel prices a response to the open access?
We to assess.
Okay.
It may be a response to reducing corruption in view of elections. It may be a response to reducing corruption. It may be a response to whatever policy, but that policy, should it be in effect now? They bring that policy now, which should have started then. You gave one person access to an asset which belongs to the people of Zambia. Umuntu umo. So I am sorry, my brother. These reductions are they may go lower than this. I will never praise UPND any reductions because it is senseless to make people suffer for 4 years. And you come and make them feel better for 1 year before election. It is totally senseless. I can't praise them. In fact, I'll criticize them because abantu mwaba chushemi akafo. Ero mwisa mkula ndati no, if it were kuma elections no katuwamie chalo. Katuwamie chalo. What will happen in ngabami vota na kabili abantu? What will happen to them? So I'm deeply sorry, and I like it when these scholars are telling UPND in their face that they are the opposition. To them, I am happy when I hear these scholars calling on the leaders of the opposition to unite, because they know if we unite as leadership, if we unite as the people, we are going to put out UPND. Bazaki. Uteko wa UPND ine bulampa pusha. Tuachanda pali Bill 7. Bill 7 ya ifua. Balefuru okuchita with. Let me tell you, Zach, are you married? Or if you are, I am too. Now, Papa Zaki pakupa mwanishe foto chita. Watu wale nsalamu. Kuba fiashi, aba mwana kashi watu wale nsalamu. Nomba, iwa Zaki nga watu wale nsalamu. Kuba fiashi ba mwana kashi otawala ndanango. Temwala ndanango mwana kashi teta iteshi bepona nguchimo watu wale nsalamu. Then palasti asa that no first if shin salamu shala tushupa kanu first mulanshanya no mwana kashi. Nga kuka no mwana kashi. ero baleko bati abene oko twere nsalamu baleko bati awe tanasende nsalamu shobe nga mwaya umfuana na mayo chisoto yunga mwana ngakusumina lelo kale iwati no sungeni fye nsalamu taleni sungeni fye nsalamu first tuka au si watakendu tunashanya nangu basunge nsalamu abole so nina tusunga chibiu chilya bati muleya mkulansha nganga bayakana abantu ebutungulushi mulela ndati kuti wachitefu ndu fyalondoloka ku bantu. I'm deeply sorry my brother, but yes amisheki natotera sana na batosha kona ba UPND fya kitu fya fimbusu fya yeah, we also recognize the UPND for building those. I think that is their legacy. You know, elsewhere I was saying a legacy, and if UPND is not careful, bakafuma pona hii na legacy. Because CDF imupunda CDF. Ni banani bali ya CDF. Mwakule chinturero cha bongolo. It's ya CDF. Mwakula bridge yapona. Ya CDF. Mwapanga ka water reticulation plant yakalumba ka isauma because you didn't do anything. That happens in Lunte. You will build we build Yamantuani ama solar powered water reticulation. Mwaya pitapo the following day at these are dry bores. These are dry bores. I mean shitakudi. So that is a bad legacy. It's a bad legacy. And I'm telling you this, if UPND is not careful, they will remain if legacy bakashana na yakukaka abantu. Yakutwala bamukamfuilwa kuma polisi na kufiro fya mirando. Ba yakutwala abalelo shaba abali mundosha ukubeta ku police instead bakapokola balolele ati umuntu ashike omwana wakwe elo bese bamuita ku police because kuli pressure from somewhere. I am sorry. This legacy you are building will be a bad legacy and it will reflect very badly on, and the UPND will be feeling very bad about themselves.
Let me take another set of calls. We lost that, but it's back. Let me try this one. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Mr. T. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you for calling. Your name's and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Mwana Mubotu from Kabwe.
Mwana Mubotu.
Sure, Mr. Zaki.
Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Honorable Mutotwe, how are you?
Mwabuka buti.
Twabuga basa, mbutiguru sagogo.
Yeah, mbombo wo banene, mbombo wo.
Itwalumbaga pati.
Yeah.
You know, we are listening the way you are articulating the issue. Quite okay. You are right, Mr. Mutotwe. You are speaking well. So, but one thing that you forget here, I've concentrated on where you say, for 4 years, the UPND has made people suffer, and now they have started easy the life of the people. See, Mr. Mutotwe, when PF was in power, the economy went bad to a level of -2. When UPND came, it was on comma, maybe ICU negative, Nishi, no kufairefa. But they have worked so much tirelessly to make sure that this time it is at least moving, at least it is in positive now, which is the best. You know, Mr. Mutotwe, honorable, if you've been to Tapisa and the men are Mukano, Kunga policies, we know, look, mines, PF were closing mines. But the UPND and the President Halanda Yirema Baisa, Babi Kamama in the window of Kwebatiando Kubomba, so that revenue is some kesu. That is when you can grow economy. You cannot grow economy by closing the mines. No, Honorable Mutotwe, you cannot run a country like that. But to make sure that the UPND is removed into power, yeah, it's the power of the people, but it cannot be an easy Honorable Mutotwe, because UPND has done a lot of things that people are able to see. Even when they are not strong or whatever, but what they are doing is vivid in the eyes of the people. And now we have seen all these solar plants that are being dotted around the country. The energy sector will be revamped. we are going to have no load shedding. It's about policies. Policies that were put by PF were not good. Look, even energy, when you say fuel was at 17, it was because you had the subsidies. Now, they have removed the subsidy and take it somewhere to agriculture, to education. That's why today we are able to have free education, Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya. That is how it works. You cannot put the subsidy for few people, no. Let money go to many Zambians and feel good. So we are feeling good in UPND Mutotwe Kafwaya. Those that will vote for you as the Toza Alliance will vote for you. Us, we are going to vote for UPND. Thank you so much, Mr. Zaki.
Thank you very much, Mwana Mwotu from Kabwe. Let me take another one on 0955-221515. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Thank you for calling. Where are you calling us from? And please give us your name.
Yeah, within Lusaka, this is Lakson.
Lakson.
Yes, Lakson.
Please go ahead, Lakson.
Yes, good morning, Honorable.
Morning. Thank you so much, Mr. Lakson.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm to talk for and the Fokulanda Kopariashi. Linda Bokeva, the memory support of Bashiki South Africa. Sure, I'm to take a fire, one voter as president of Zambia. Mwate for 7 years. It Mwate Mokati, Mulale Kucharo Chindi, in a foreign land, are you sure? We want to Mucharo Chino, I'm a politics, we are saying that so. Because we to a repato, you are taker, so the photo to the fire, say, Amone, what they are former president. Are you sure? And can a big reason you know Mungalanda Mucharo is? Come to take a fire, you are a hero maker. Mwashwa amalozi kwebati isi abwerera munanikane muma anikane you use the benefits one and you had no barrier as private so number but baringira babwera awe kukwata kwaba enmity muntu ngafwa state mulete at no each tumbi that's it's a state property. It's a state property ruled this country. So to start so we want to wear at least to run the unity mucharo.
Thank you. Right. Let me give you a comment on Facebook. It's coming from Mulumbeni Chirwa. Now, Mulumbeni Chilwa says, with repeated fiscal crisis requiring supplementary budget alongside sharp increase in living cost, persistent corruption, weak governance, and broken campaign promises paint a picture of a government that hasn't delivered on reforms or indeed services to the people. This has fueled public distrust and criticism, and Zambians are right to demand accountability and sustainable, competent leadership. That what concrete action should the government take now to rebuild public trust and deliver sustainable economic relief before elections? I'm not sure if you would like to respond to that question, but I guess that you could, because it brings out quite a couple of issues. Let me give you the last call, then you can respond, and we will be winding up. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? And thank you for calling.
Yeah, fine. And how are you?
Fine.
Mwene Mtonga.
Mwene?
Chimwene Mtonga.
Chimwene Mtonga. Okay. Mutumira kuti.
Yeah. Nitumira kumini udu. Mutumbi.
Okay. Zikom.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Vamutotwe Kafwaya mwakamba mushe maningi. Ndiye leaders vetifuna kwa chimwe. Kuli government yatu onani kulingana na ino time yetilipo si titandizira ise Mazambians pali ino time yavutika. For example, ku health issue kulibe vilivonse vevichitika ati kunkhani ya malaiti vaita celebrate ni ma other countries instead to celebrate in this event vake kubwera vafwaka upeza tifwaka mova na vava bettinga ndekwe vaista increase taxi but kuli mamaini ma resources yatu vali quiet kangiwa kuishako increase then ma foreign vaista benefits ma Zambians kumunzi vavutika. For example apa vandani ma government vatu vakambate vazaista export ndani fertilizer vantu vavutika parino time vachte bwanje export fertilizer kuli ma countries yali 4 apa peve vacha destroy country. Zambia ili pa number 6 poverty level, mu Africa ili pa number 4. Then manje vachte bwanje export but mazi vantu vafolera mu media government yatu city tandizira Mutotwe Kafwaya muti uzireko kuli government yatu not vama export vevafuna tumiza ma fertilizer vapase ma other countries yachite benefit ma vantu kumamizi vavutika palino time ma farmers vavutika vafolera ma media makapu spoon. So government yatu tifuna 2026 tikaicho sepo just because of ni malayas. Okay, msebenze bwino.
Zikomo. That's our last call this morning, and I would like you to respond as we conclude.
So
That's right.
Thank you so much. I will start by responding to Lakson,
Right.
because I think he touched on the issue to do with the funeral.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose myself in this matter.
Right.
Lakson, let me tell you something. I love President Edgar Lungu. I respect him. And don't draw me in the debate of how he was mistreated, how he was, refused to go to go for medical review, how he was plucked out of an aeroplane, how his bags were offloaded from the planes, how he was stopped from jogging. Don't draw me into those issues because they hate me. Okay, I would have loved for President Edgar Lungu to be allowed to go to church as and when he wished. I would have loved for him to do whatever he wanted to do as a person when he lived. He was stopped from doing all these things. But when I look back and reflect on those things, they will not drive my position. I take no position. The only position I take is to support the family. I support the family for whatever decision they take because President Galungu was closer to his family than to any one of us. Because of the kind of leader he was. President Lungu gave us a district in Lunte. Lunte district was part of Mporokoso. It is President Lungu who gave us that district. I have to love him. President Edgar Lungu planted telecommunication towers in Lunte. Today, my able to make calls to each other. They are to transact on the cyberspace because of the work he did. President Edgar Lungu built hospitals, he built clinics in Lunte. Many of them, when I became MP there, I found only 9. Today, as I'm seated here, we have got 24 hospitals. All these others were built by President Edgar Lungu. President Edgar Lungu did so much. So I love him. I love him. I love him. And because of that, I support him. And by supporting him, to show my support to him now that he's dead, I'm saying I am supporting the family. And I have no influence on what the family decides. I have no influence on what the family heard from the husband, father, and grandfather. I was not there. What they were discussing at the family, I was not there. So my point of view is to support them in the decisions they take concerning their husband, their father, their grandfather, and their family member. I have no place there. I am sorry, I have no place. The only place I have is to support the family. This is what I want to do. So I'm sorry, I didn't say I want him to be married here or there. We will learn from the family and I will support the position of the family. I thought I should point to that one first because it's very, very important. Mtonga, I think you have heard what Mtonga said. Mtonga said, "Wuteko wabantu ababufi peshamano." And what do? Kuba fumya mumaka. Is this the reason why when you listen to these others, they are saying unite. This is the reason they are saying unite. But they want us as leaders to unite. And then after we unite, our people should also unite behind all of us. So clearly, I agree with you that Mwemwe, this government has sold electricity. And you see, this load shedding is government made. Because I'm like ngabale pela fiavena Zambia, tetikube load shedding.
The 100 megawatt solar plant that was recently launched has come up twice. Let's address that.
Yes. Well, new project yabalungu. Na mumfa kuri ababakon. This new project yabalungu. Mwali bomfa balungu la pobalungu. Lungu can't be mentioned. Did you hear Lungu being mentioned in Kafwaya Dam? He can't be mentioned. He can't. Even though he did 84% of the work. 84% of the dam was done by President Lungu. But what did we go and hear? Even from ministers who were there, the person they were calling in Karakatimba, you know, it is this in Karakatimba for toilets in Kwacha. Okay? How about it in Karakatimba? 16%, for God's sake. Now, that is not hatred. Okay? Kuli benecho chitemwiko, bali mutemwa Lungu. That's why when he does 84% of work, he can't be recognized. Chitemwiko. If we to Wakana 7, nishi tualipata church. We hate him. This pariah animal. Takwava. Zaki, you need to see through your own imagination. You need to recheck what you think about other people and what you think about yourself. Think about those things. But mwana mubotu abakukabwe abati imwe economy yenu yali ile punch by negative 2. By UPND government, they have brought proper policies. So economy, it has come out of the ICU. It is now soaring. My brother, if somebody hates somebody, they can't tell you what has happened. In 2019, towards the end of 2019, COVID-19 broke out. COVID-19. This country has never faced a calamity like COVID-19. COVID-19 ensured that trade finished. Even though President Lungu, because he loved people, he said you can't close the borders. But still, the other countries were not moving. Where you import things, the factories had closed. That's why Ishindeke, you know, before COVID-19, do you know how many times South African Airways was landing at KKIA? 7 times in a day. 7 times in a day, South African Airways landing up 7 times in a day. During COVID, South African Airways had stopped coming to Lusaka. What about Ethiopian Airlines? They were landing 3 times in a day at Kenneth Kaunda International Airport. Then they began to land once in a week during COVID-19. But this Mwana Mubot cannot tell the Zambian people that in 2019 and 2020, COVID caused the closure of the world. This is the time the GDP went into negative. This is the time the GDP went into negative. It was during COVID-19. And we, the Zambian people, are import-oriented. Where do you go to import? Before COVID, South African Airways is 7 times in a day. Mubushiku yapona 7 times pa KKIA. Nomba baleka. Wala chita import kuise fintu. Ababa resh shobu alo mkoda ukokuine katushinga ngani ku Africa ngani kuna Namibia ngani kuise. How are you going to do business? Now, from Mwana Mubotu, bakula lumbula ni drought. Bakula lumbula drought because drought happened when there is a person of interest. no tukamuvota ife echeche mukamuvote echeche tapali abalelesha okumuvota echeche nali umva kuli John Sangwa the other day ati teti muvote echeche. John Sangwa efyalandire pa TV teti muvote echeche na kabili because he has broken my trust. If you know you achiralanda oyo wakuminudu I can't vote for these people, they have broken our trust. Listen to this guy on Facebook. He is saying fiscal crisis, they can't deny it. 14.8 billion kwacha bale Kongola bale muli supplementary budget ya 26 because it's not 33, it is 26. The other 7 billion fiabu fee but that these are savings from the 25 budget. How do you make savings in a budget which is still in it? Because 2025 budget take up in December. How do you create savings? Where will you create savings? And then, in fact, that money is already appropriated. It's sitting in the original appropriation. How do you put it in another appropriation? Within 1 year, you appropriate 11 billion twice. What type of accounting is that? It's all maladministration. It is all carelessness, and they don't care. No matter how you speak, they will never listen because this is who they are. This is who they are. Forensic audit ilikwisa. Forensic audit yamit. Ilikwisa. The British ambassador said, share with us. Tupeni kochi report ichi. But you see, that British ambassador is just hosted in Zambia. It is the people should demand it. National Assembly, where you have sent people to represent you, that report is not there. It has never been laid on the table. It's not there. But nishi uteko bwa UPND bwali tuwala kuli bakapokola. Efyo bale chitana efyo bakapokola iliya report tapali tete mufyumfwe because aba involved ni bali abama FIC illicit financial flows. So I'm very disappointed with the UPND government. And I'm sorry, this is a government we elected for ourselves. We have to suffer with it until we remove them in 6.
Your concluding remark.
It's just to say that these issues are patriotic issues. The issues we project are issues to do with the people. They have got nothing to do with UPND. They have got nothing to do with the vision. They are for the people. When you make people suffer, a few of us will stand with the people. Because that is where we are coming from. We are coming from that community, and we want you in the executive to start to think for the people. As a matter of fact, this guy whose text you are reading was saying, what is the sustainable solution which UPND may follow? UPND should start loving people a bit more than they do right now. You can't just be injuring people and then you are pushing for them to love you to an extent of even telling you to love me back. Takwaba.
Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya, Lunte, Member of Parliament, thank you very much for coming and for sparing your busy schedule to be with us, be with the people of Zambia. And we are grateful that you came. Well, listeners, thank you very much. And that's what we had for you today on our Thursday edition of The Burning Issue. Our guest was Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya, Lunte, Member of Parliament. Remember, we were live on Millennium Radio, Katete FM, Luchinga FM, Spice FM, Tuta Radio, ZFM, and iWeb FM, Platinum Radio, Radio Ichengelo, and 5FM. To you all, I say thank you very much for carrying this program on your respective platforms. We will certainly be back, God willing, next week for both Tuesday and Thursday edition of The Burning Issue. From all of us here, it's take care of yourselves and more so of each other. Bye-bye.
Tune in next week for another edition of The Burning Issue, and thank you for your participation.